Once creators started talking about her sham career, she retaliated with claims that they were stalking, bullying, and harassing her for simply talking about what she was doing. A supposed public figure with over 1 million followers, yet they have the time of day to try to figure out what Primink had for breakfast and what time he actually shit it out. In frantic attempts to scrub the internet of any truth, reality, and rational thought, this woman and her mother fire off false copyright claims like it's the morning announcements after the school bell. But one thing I haven't seen talked about too much, possibly because she had the discussions removed, is her documentary Project Bullyish. This documentary is just her and her mother talking into the void with useless screenshots that don't even prove their points half the time. Anyways, she thinks the eyeball-bearing graveyard that is her face in this edit is some kind of manifestation of her death. She says, in quite a calm voice, "The way you hear me right now is how panicked I felt." This was the voice and demeanor of someone ordering Chinese food. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the internet, where your cesspool is my jacuzzi. I want to start by saying that for those who know me, I couldn't care less about makeup or the beauty community, and that has not changed. To each their own. It's just not mine. That's how you know there's more to the story here. What I want to talk about today is Lillie Jean, the beauty influencer turned aspiring actress who seems to have faked her entire career success. While Lillie Jean appeared to have found success with over 1 million Instagram followers, there was something more egregious going on behind those numbers. When others have shed light on Lillie Jean's strange behaviors and misrepresentations of the success of her career, Lillie Jean and her mother, Laura Truman, have gone on harassment campaigns against creators and social media users. They've doxed people, called the police, abused false copyright claims, and slandered creators by alleging they're a part of some elaborate years-long cyberbullying plot against her and a cult. Sounds insane, right? For those who don't know me, my name is Neidigh, and I'm a psychiatric evaluator. I am not a licensed physician, and none of the statements made in this video should be taken as medical advice. But honestly, if you're looking to my YouTube channel for medical advice, I don't like your chances anyways. This video is based on my personal opinions, which do not reflect the views of my employers. I'm still kind of new to YouTube. I started making videos because it's always been frustrating to see people explain away antisocial behavior or criminal behavior as insanity or excuse it as a byproduct of mental illness. Our jails are full of chronically mentally ill people who can't survive without treatment, while many of our hospital beds are occupied by people who do shitty things, knowing those things are shitty, but then get a 72-hour hold, a free pass, and are held to no accountability because people are afraid of calling them out, while others might dogpile them or cancel them because the offender in question is mentally ill. Are there people out there who couldn't help their behaviors or stop themselves because of a crippling and debilitating mental illness? Yes, but honestly, they're few and far between. With that being said, I want to talk about Lillie Jean and why I don't think she's insane, but I do think she is a little fucking crazy. Here's a brief summary of the background to the Lillie Jean issue. And I mean, this is a summary. It doesn't even begin to show the full picture, really. In most of this video, I will just be recapping what she said or what she did because I don't want to use her image too much. I don't want to give her any ammunition. Lillie Jean has allegedly faked her entire influencer career by purchasing followers and likes. She has also allegedly created multiple fake personas to boost her engagements in the comments. To accomplish this, she appears to have created imaginary friends of various backgrounds that are extreme stereotypes. At least, she's doing the DEI thing, I guess. I can't state that these things absolutely happened as a fact for legal reasons, but I can say that I fully believe these things are an accurate description of her influencer career. Unfortunately, she was somehow able to acquire brand deals despite her dramatically rising and falling engagement numbers on Instagram alone. Primink did a really good job of showing the instability and or volatility of these numbers. Lillie Jean got sponsorships, she was invited to parties, but who knows which of those things were real because people have proven that some of it was fake. People started to notice that something was off with Lillie Jean. Some attention was brought to her apparently fake influencer career on Reddit, and people started digging. Some of you may remember my cousin Caroline, who joined me in watching and reading about some of this stuff.
This is what Lillie Jean wants.
Lauren wants Lillie Jean to shut the fuck up.
Caroline wants her mug off the screen.
Her makeup skills seemed kind of basic to me.
I like to start from here.
So obviously I'm not into makeup, and you know that, but like, you watch some of these people, right? Or like, not her, but...
Yeah.
And you've never heard of her before?
Yeah, I've never heard of her before yesterday. And I
Okay.
watch a lot of makeup tutorials, and I have for like decades.
I read that she was this master artist that's been doing it since she was 11, but when I finally found her art,
What the fuck?
Wow.
This looks like it could have been a brochure for like the Little Mermaid plays that we forced our parents and siblings to watch when we were at like family gatherings when we were young.
Seriously,
Like,
we
just
would have made
totally-
Ashley make it.
Little Mermaid was looking a little botched.
Going to parties aside, much of that is fake, especially the Teen Vogue cover because they were no longer printing Teen Vogue when she did that.
Yeah, that magazine cover is like clearly a selfie she took of herself. I mean,
Yeah, you don't think a professional photographer did that?
I don't know, man.
It looks like one of those Tinder photo shoots I used to make you do for me.
Oh.
You start to notice some problems. For example, the photo of Lillie at the Met Gala.
Not
Once
the
you
Met Gala. Not
Oh,
the Met
no.
Gala.
and you will start to notice some weird distortion, which this is a sign of Photoshop. And after looking around, someone was able to find the exact photo it was Photoshopped from. Lillie covered up Katy Perry.
Dude, come on. They're passing this off as like she was at the fucking Met Gala, right? And then later when people, called them on it, she apparently, and I haven't actually seen this, I've just read this in comments. Apparently, she said, "Oh, they were just fan-made things that we really like, so we posted them." And I'm like, "No, you're willfully right here in this post, like your mother who represents you is willfully lying, like willfully misrepresenting the truth and making it look like you were invited to the Met Gala." Project Bulliest documentary wraps up in 2024 by Lillie Jean Truman. All right. Cyber stalking from the eyes of a 15-and-a-half-year-old girl to a 23-year-old woman. So the cyber stalking that she alleges by people like Primink and Curtis Price started, their commentary started when she was an adult. So nobody knows what the fuck she's talking about. Now, sadly, Caroline had to check out. She couldn't take it anymore, but I decided to trudge on. Once creators started talking about her sham career, she retaliated with claims that they were stalking, bullying, and harassing her for simply talking about what she was doing. She herself has been the one to dox, harass, and stalk others. Lillie Jean and her mother posted Primink's real name and where he lives online. They also doxed Curtis Price, his girlfriend, and his family, but claim that Curtis Price is stalking them. In frantic attempts to scrub the internet of any truth, reality, and rational thought, this woman and her mother fire off false copyright claims like it's the morning announcements after the school bell. And that's not just on YouTube. She's even had Primink receive a copyright strike for posting a link to his own video on Discord. She's had the Reddit legal team remove content and put subreddits in jeopardy of having their entire communities deleted. She's had people's Instagram or Twitter accounts removed. The list goes on, really. I've seen a lot of discussion about her bizarre behavior towards others, and I'm going to dive into these things in a later follow-up video. But one thing I haven't seen talked about too much, possibly because she had the discussions removed, is her documentary Project Bullyish. I'm going to give you an overview of it, and then I'm going to explain my claims that this woman is not insane. So let's talk about this documentary. First of all, I watched it so you don't have to. It was quite philanthropic of me, actually. They claim this documentary has won awards. What fucking awards? This isn't a documentary, it's a video diary. This documentary is just her and her mother talking into the void with useless screenshots that don't even prove their points half the time. In the opening part of the documentary, Lillie Jean is talking about her Instagram. She says, "Seeing people tag me nonstop on my photos in the comments as though I'm not even a human being." She says it made her feel so scared, and that she could see the profiles were predominantly men. First off, again, she claims to have 1 million followers. So yeah, she'd be getting tagged a lot. Second, the comments they're showing on the screen in the documentary thus far are primarily from Reddit, so how the fuck do you know if it's a man or a woman? I could go make an account named Crop Dust King and comment right away on random subreddits. It's still not a dude. It's still me. She then goes on to say she began to fear for her safety when these phantom Reddit men start saying things that are sexual in nature. To support that statement, she shows that someone made a weird edited photo of her where her eyes are missing from the sockets. I don't get the vibe that anyone was wanting to fuck the eye holes. Not to mention, she has no credibility, and who's to say she's not the one doing these things for attention, since we already know she'll go to great lengths and double down with that goal in mind. Anyways, she thinks the eyeball-bearing graveyard that is her face in this edit is some kind of manifestation of her death. She finally gets to the point by posting alleged Reddit comments which are sexual in nature with the usernames cropped out. Her mother then comes on and says people from the internet made some sort of cyber mob or cult that followed them from platform to platform. She says they're all men, again without any proof. You'll notice that she does include some Reddit usernames in these screenshots. Interesting. Lillie Jean then claims that one day, all of this just suddenly stopped. Every single member of this secret army just decided to stop all at the same time. I maintain, in my opinion, that she made up a lot of these profiles. That's why she didn't show the usernames on some of the Reddit posts, but she did show it on others. Also, most of us have some idea of how easy it is to troll and pretend to be somebody else on the internet these days. You have no idea how many times I've trolled Caroline pretending to be some dude. It's really easy. We prank text each other all the time. This one time I even pretended to be my dad. I took his phone while he wasn't paying attention. Then I texted her saying something like, "Hi, it's Father's Day, and I just wanted to let you know I really think of you as a daughter. I want to spend more time together." And if you know my dad, that's fucking ridiculous. She was so confused. So Lillie Jean claims some time goes by and then people start attacking her again. She's upset because they aren't even using her name, which makes absolutely no sense to me at all. In the beginning of this documentary, she's upset that people are tagging her by name, and now she's upset that they aren't. Some of the bullying examples she shows on screen during this scene are clearly directed at other people. One is saying, "A+ quality post, I love shit like this." That's not a bullying comment towards Lillie Jean. That is a supportive comment towards the Redditor who posted the thread. Another says, "Now I am here for this kind of investigation. Super fascinating to me." What? I think she's assuming people won't pause to read these things before they disappear from the screen, and she just hopes it looks like an overwhelming amount of cyberbullying. Someone else said these people seem extremely delusional. She's just throwing these things out there with no context, like the fact that she has allegedly purchased most of her 1 million followers and allegedly purchased likes and comments to boost her engagement. Then her mom enters stage right again, which is honestly hard to watch. She says she watched the ever-growing amount of Redditors talking about Lillie Jean. She claims they all had obnoxious names. At one point, she showed a profile for Official Trash Bag, and I thought, wow, I haven't talked about them yet and they've already doxed me. Until I realized that it was just a social media profile and not, in fact, my birth certificate. A lot of the comments used as examples while Lore is monologuing again seem to be criticisms of them that are grounded in opinions that people are free to have. For example, Lore should be in jail. Okay. Did the users spray paint that on their driveway? No. Fuck off then. No one is forcing you to read the thoughts of people who don't like you. They aren't tagged in these posts. The ones they are tagged in seem to be mostly people tagging brands in regards to Lillie Jean's alleged fraud. They claim this is harassment. No. You don't get to crime all over the place and be mad when someone asks the authorities to sponge it up. To her credit, in this next scene, she does show some examples of comments that could be considered bullying. But again, given her credibility, who's to say what's real? This is what happens when you lie all the time. Lillie Jean comes on and says, people can try so hard to take you down, but you have to keep trying and you have to keep fighting. I guess her fight is against reality, and she's going to keep fighting with false copyright claims. Way to go. Now, Lillie Jean speaks of herself in the third person, saying, "Lillie Jean is the castle, and people keep trying to throw bombs at her walls." I guess it was a decorative fucking sandcastle, because I gotta tell you, that shit crumbled under the tiniest amount of scrutiny. She says, in quite a calm voice, "The way you hear me right now is how panicked I felt." This was the voice and demeanor of someone ordering Chinese food. I believe she was actually telling the truth that time. Laura then returns to the diary stage, saying a user or users tried to alienate Lillie Jean from her friends. Where are these friends? Why aren't they speaking up for Lillie Jean and confirming this is all real? And no, we will not accept an internet comment from someone who is most likely Lillie Jean or her mother on an alt account. Laura and Lillie Jean are extremely upset that people are calling them out. They say people are isolating them as victims and forming a cyber mob. I've also seen them refer to it as a cult. Lillie Jean then appears appalled by the feeling of invasiveness, which is some silly goose shit considering the stalkerish, invasive things they've done in response to creators who have never put them in harm's way. Her mother rambles on about people who make content or videos about Lillie Jean. A supposed public figure with over 1 million followers, yet they have the time of day to try to figure out what Primink had for breakfast and what time he actually shit it out. Laura then complains that creators who talk about Lillie Jean are making money off her name. To that I say no, you dipshit. I wouldn't give a flying fuck about you or your kid if you weren't wandering about freely committing crimes. You and your devil spawn would have people believe she is famous to over 1 million people. So when someone famous commits a crime, people report on it and they rightfully earn money for the work they put in. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it isn't work, and it doesn't mean it doesn't deserve compensation. I hated the fuck out of The Walking Dead for killing off Carl and Glenn, but I guess the writers still deserve to get paid for their jobs. These people have reportedly called the FBI and police over people saying things they don't like. The person who dubs this documentary a story of hope and terrible destruction is wasting law enforcement resources that could otherwise be dedicated to saving real victims or solving actual crimes. Turn off the computer, heat up a bowl of macaroni, watch some TV, and shut the fuck up. Laura then comes on and says brands started dropping Lillie Jean because of this bullying. In the emails shown on the screen, many of the brands clearly state Lillie Jean was dropped because of her alleged behavior. They can't have it associated with their brands. I'll put some of the screenshots in succession here so you can pause and read them if you want. But again, this shows that many of the screenshots used in this video diary do not actually support their claims. Wow, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, this was way more exhausting than I imagined. I hate to throw in the towel, but I think I'm gonna have to continue with a part 2 to finish this up. I'll have it posted later this week. So, with all this bizarre shit, which only scratches the surface of the situation, why am I insisting that Lillie Jean is not insane? Because in my opinion, Lillie Jean Truman and Laura Truman know what they are doing. They understand the potential consequences of their actions. They're functional members of society, albeit aggravating ones. They know their actions are wrong, and they demonstrate that with calculated responses to opposition. There are no signs to suggest they are unable to care for themselves or function in society to achieve their basic needs. Lillie Jean doesn't belong in some state psychiatric hospital, occupying a bed needed by someone who is truly handicapped by their mental illness. I see signs of mental illness, yes, and I believe she would clearly benefit from treatment. But Lillie Jean and Lore, these people need jail, not a hospital. It's about time our correctional facilities serve to actually correct behavior rather than house people who sold or smoked some weed. People like this often don't get anything out of treatment because they aren't compliant or they lie to their counselors. Treatment alone doesn't stop these people. You know what does? The threat of being imprisoned. Not wanting to go to jail or prison, or not wanting to go back to jail or prison, could actually serve to stop this behavior. Legal action needs to be taken. Some may ask, why do all this, Lauren? Why go on this rant and bother watching content about Lillie Jean if you don't like it? I'll tell you why. Because the more people feel too afraid to talk about these things, the more the people committing the crimes or harassment and engaging in these behaviors are able to get away with. Staying silent and afraid enables them to feel more empowered and to attack good people. When someone is committing harassment, committing fraud, committing copyright abuse, threatening people, doxing creators and their families, staying silent isn't going to do anything to stop it. Now, a lot of you have probably seen my coverage of the Clayton Echard paternity scandal. Clayton Echard, a former lead of The Bachelor, was accused of fathering twins by Laura Owens, a woman who, as it turns out, has performed a serial pregnancy scam against at least 4 known victims, likely more. Not to mention, she claimed to be pregnant with twins each time, sometimes after only engaging in oral sex, or with the man concluding not inside of her. People have asked me, how do people keep getting away with shit like this? How do we stop it? Well, I think we stop it by standing up to them. I say we stop it by refusing to turn a blind eye. They cannot threaten and sue everyone if we find the courage to fight it. There have been a lot of times in my life and career where I was left frustrated with various injustices or wrongs because the people who had the ability to do anything about it refused to make the effort. They didn't want to rock the boat. They would often say it's not worth starting a pissing match. So my answer to seeing things like this is never going to be silence. It's one thing for someone to have different opinions or use language we don't like or make choices we don't understand. We can just go on with our day and disagree and not let it into our lives. But when someone uses their platform or privilege to bully, harass, stalk, or defraud others, walking away without a word is never going to be an answer I'll accept. When people fight accountability with more harassment and abuse, shutting up is not the answer. At least, it's never going to be mine. Thank you to everyone watching this for your continued support. I plan to continue these types of videos as a series, pointing out that many people don't deserve a free pass because of insanity. That many people don't deserve to slip away into the shadows after they hurt other people because of their mental illness. They deserve jail time. I will get deeper into the background of Lillie Jean and her harassment of the public another time. And like I said, I'll go through a part 2 of my documentary review, hopefully later this week, maybe in a couple days. All right, guys. I'll see you for the next one.